Derek, what more can you tell us?
Well, it's very breaking news. It just came out, as you said, quite recently. But here's what we know so far. The U.S. and Japan have been in talks for quite a while now, and it appears that this is now headed to the done stage. President Trump and Shinzo Abe are supposed to be meeting, I believe it's next week, for UN stuff, and so they're going to be possibly signing right at that moment. The president has signaled his intent for a deal in a letter to Congress. He said there's going to be a separate executive action similar on the digital side. But what this means in terms of Japan is that you're talking about a reduction quite likely in the threat of automobiles ever facing specific tariffs. This has been a thing that Japan has been really concerned about for quite a long time, and it's been an impediment too there, and we've seen some suggestion that now that is firmly and fully off the table.
Derek, what do we know about the potential content of this deal? Because it says it's just an initial agreement, but we know that it's been really hard for Japan to agree to the Trans-Pacific Partnership that the U.S. eventually pulled out of.
Yeah, and we're still waiting for a lot of those details to come out at this moment. But certainly right now, this is a big lift. You're seeing markets start to react on the lift here. Japan and the U.S. have had a lot of these sort of devil in details kind of things. If you're talking about cars, you're talking about agriculture, certain sections of trying to open up the economies. And so I think that this is going to be one of those cases where we're going to need to see exactly what's covered by the content of this. But for certain, this is removing quite a fair bit of uncertainty that was hanging over the entire sort of U.S.-Japan relationship. This is something, remember, that Trump and Abe had very much wanted to get done this month by the UN meeting so that they could sit there, they could sign something, they could be done, and they could both clear it from their agenda. From the U.S. perspective, the U.S. quite simply has bigger fish to fry. They're dealing with China, they're dealing with an emergent Iran situation, and so something like this, I think that for the president, it was very important to try and get a win here, and it looks like he's going to be able to sell something and say that he has negotiated a trade pact.